Hey you guys, welcome back. This is Aqua Moonlight. Thank you so much for stopping by. So happy autumn, everybody. I know today, at least here where I am, it is September 22nd. It is the first day of autumn equinox. So I tried to get this video out a little bit earlier, but the reason why my zodiac signs take so long too is because my internet is ridiculously slow. I think I mentioned that before. I'm kind of out in nowhere land, so every reading I post usually takes like a couple hours to upload, including personal readings, so that's why things get a little backed up. So I'm trying to see what I can do about that, but it's quite slow. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and I have a little bit of a spread here today. I'm going to just do a quick little update on the energies, and then we're just going to do the same thing like whoever it is that you're dealing with. If it's your masculine, if it's your feminine, we're just going to see how this new season change is going to affect this. I mean, the change of season is a time to shed the old. It's a time to really put new intentions. This is a really great time for manifestations too. And to just start over, to wipe the slate clean from the summer. I know it's been really crazy for a lot of us. So yeah, it's a brand new dawn here. So let's go ahead. And by the way, real quick, I am super excited. I'm so stoked because a family member of mine gave me these cards here. These are called the Wolf Pack by Robert Petro, the Wolf Pack Tarot. Even though they're not tarot, they're pretty much just oracle cards. But as you guys know, I am a wolf fanatic. I have wolf stuff everywhere. It's been my spirit animal since I was a little kid. And I absolutely love these cards. They're oracle cards and they have a bunch of just different stuff. There's like 78 of them. So we're going to use these today. I'm super excited. And then I actually have two other new decks, so in case you wonder what they are. This is the Naked Heart Tarot by Jillian Wild. Okay, I really love this too. It has lots of animals on it. And finally, the Wisdom of the House of the Night by PC Cast and Colette Baron Reed. All right, so these are nice and dark and shadowy, perfect for this time of year. So we're just going to dive into those two and see what comes through. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the Divine Masculine check. All right, so just quick Divine Masculine check, and then from then on, we'll do whoever your twin flame is you're dealing with. I'll do the Divine Feminine too. All right, so let's just see what's going on right now with the Divine Masculine. So Spirit, please channel some messages for the collective Divine Masculines. What is currently going on with their energy? What's going on with the collective Divine Masculines, please? So let's just see where their basic energy is, okay? Collective Divine Masculines. Well, here we have the change. We have the Death card and we have the King of Wands. All right, so Death card actually really embodies what this whole change of season is. It's a time to shed the old, which we'll get into some of that. I do have some things I want to pull about changes and about what's changing and how will this affect them. I love it. We have the sun at the bottom. So this is really the illumination of their selves. The King of Wands, the King of Wands is somebody who has been coming up a lot the last couple of months. So of course it could be a fire sign, but regardless of that, it really is about your charisma. It's about your confidence. It's about really being who you are, embodying the traits, being a very, somebody who's a leader, but also having the confidence and the playfulness to go along with that. So really somebody who really has it all balanced out in that regard. So I feel like this is the change of the masculines identifying their self, identifying their true self without ego. And so with the sun, this is the change and the illumination. So actually the Death card is coming through as a really positive indicator right now, because it is saying that this is they're undergoing a transformation, a change. So what is this change about? Oh my gosh. First card out of the Wolf deck is Fire. We have the Reunion. That's beautiful. So we have an opportunity to meet your soulmate. This is an act of destiny, realization of personal hopes and dreams, a change for the better. So what is this change about? It's about the reunion. That is awesome. And with the Sun card, this is also about the illumination of something. It's about the enlightenment. It could be even an awakening type of a card. So, this is really, and we have the guilt at the bottom. Okay, so we have guilt. So I remember this did come up, the guilt card, I think it was a couple weeks ago. So I feel like a lot of masculines have been harboring guilt. They've been harboring some form of a sadness or regret, as have the feminines in different ways. And I feel like this illumination of who you are at your core will release any of these guilts, will lead you to the reunion, not only with your twin flame, but with yourself. And that could also be what the sun is, because the sun can be a card about selfish energy, but in a good way. I feel it here to be someone who knows who they are, the illumination of their center, their core. Okay, so that's where they're at. So they could be going through a lot of stuff right now. You could be feeling their energy as well. If you're feminine watching, you could be feeling a transition, some purging stuff going on. So let's go ahead and see where the feminine is at. So where's the collective divine feminine at the moment here? Where's the collective divine feminine here? Wow. We have the Judgment and the Page of Swords. So I'm already really loving this reading because we have the Death and the Judgment. So the Death for the masculines, the Judgment for the feminines, and these are really going hand in hand. So with the feminines, we're dealing with somebody who, we have the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom. So with the Judgment, this is also sort of like a awakening. It's a verdict. It's really reaching the judgment moment when you have freed yourself from something. You're liberated. So I feel like with the feminines, it's coming from, some of you could be reaching out. You could be thinking about reaching out. You could be thinking about how to make a new communication, how to communicate something as well. It could also be that you have been waiting for your masculine, Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. You've been waiting for a message that maybe is not going to come right now. Maybe you feel like it has not. And then with the Judgment, it's sort of to me like, I'm okay with this. I've sort of accepted it. And that's what I feel the Judgment really embodies. It's a beautiful card of a verdict, but it's also, it can be about a reunion too. It can be about the past coming back. So I feel like this could be an indication that we're mirroring the masculine illuminating his self, and then in turn, the feminines are called back to their judgment, called back to their home, which is their masculine, could be receiving this communication. Maybe it's through the 5D, or maybe it's even in the physical world. We do have something about waiting, though. Could just take a while. It could be still in the process, and maybe you have let it go. Let's see what the Wolf deck has to say. So where's the feminine? We have defeated. You may feel financially or emotionally defeated at this time. The lesson is to learn from this experience. So, as I was saying, it could be something where with the Page of Swords, we're not moving. We're kind of just at a standstill. Same thing with the Seven of Pentacles. We actually have isolation at the bottom. I just feel like it could have been an energy here for the feminines where there was just no movement, either in your life or with your masculine and yourself. And this Judgment, I feel, will either be the reconciliation of this, the return of this thing that will set you free from this energy. He kind of looks like he's behind the trees there, and he doesn't, he's been stuck sort of, like he didn't know. He's been isolating himself. He's not been out in the open. Could also be about not being truthful in your words or your communications with the Page of Swords, not being true to what you do desire and what you do feel. Kind of just been standing there. Okay. Let's get just a couple more clarifiers here, and then we'll move forward. So what else is this Judgment moment about for the feminines here? What is this Judgment moment about? Actually, I'm not going to take these because these were all stuck. Well, I don't know. Because we do have kind of the same, we have the Hanged Man and the Four of Swords. So you see how stagnant this is. Four of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, the isolation. This is just stagnant energy that never, again, moved forward. So I feel like with the Judgment, we're getting somewhere. So the Nine of Pentacles, yeah. So the feminines are feeling okay on their own. They're feeling okay without having some form of communication, without having to linger here and wait and always be restless about it. It's more so now that this has been accepted. This fact has been learned. It's defeated. It's surrendered. So defeated can also be, to me, about the Six of Cups at the bottom. Yeah. So that's about the past soulmate. So defeated can also be like a surrender to me. It could also be like, I can't invest any more time into this. I can't invest any more energy into this because I'm not seeing the results that I want. So I'm just going to choose myself. I'm going to choose to be okay in myself. And that's kind of the same thing I feel the masculines are going through, except they're rectifying guilt. They're rectifying actions that they have had, or words, or whatever it is. Okay? Okay, so let's go into the stuff that I had planned here for this change. So I want to see how is this season change, how is this equinox changing your twin flame? So again, if this is your masculine, that's fine. If it's your feminine, that's fine too. It's whoever you feel right now that you're being called to. And we're going to use some of the new decks here. Okay. All right. And I just looked at the clock and it was 5:55, which is an indication of change in itself. So let's go ahead and see here. So how is, what is this change, or what is this season change going to bring here? How is this going to change your twin? What sort of a transformation is going on with your twin flame? What is this transformation about? The Ascent. This is actually one of my awakening cards too, is because he's been climbing this whole time. He's been climbing up that mountain there, and it's been a struggle. It's been an obstacle. He may have encountered storms. He may have just been out in the bad weather, just metaphorically speaking. So now he has ascended. So what is this change about? It's about conquering something. It's about being at the top of the mountain finally, after all of the obstacles that you're going through. So not to say that they don't have any challenges left, but it is about some form of a journey being conquered, some form of a journey. One mountain was reached the top, okay? So what kind of change is this bringing here? Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is the ending. Ten of Swords, this is over. So the thing about the Ten of Swords is this is also about surrender. So we've actually had two cards that indicate surrender in both masculine and feminine, which I think is great because you can't go any further than the Ten of Swords. So I feel like what's happening here is that this is the ultimate defeat. This is the ultimate, it's like you reach the top of the mountain here. You've ascended to the top, and now you have to let everything else die. You have to let everything else just dwindle out. It could also be that they feel exhausted. They have done all this work. They've done all of this, growing, and now they're exhausted. They don't know how to move forward from this point. But I do feel like it's also a card that says that the ending of the worst is over. The worst of all of these struggles are over. And that's where I feel this twin flame is changing on a very transformative level. The Akashic Field. This has been coming up a lot too, because to me, this is the #1 card. It's almost like a magician to me, because they're harnessing all of the power that they have innately had inside of them to be able to use this to their benefit. So with the Akashic Field, we're really taking all of the energy that we have around us and using it in wise ways, in ways that we can better ourselves. And I feel like this is also the recognition of the power that you've had within yourself. Yes, 8 of Wands. So this is moving forward. So you see, with the 10 of Swords, we're done. Something is over. Whether this is just our mental energy that has been draining us, this is over. Whether this is a relationship, it's over. Whatever it is, it has been conquered, especially on a spiritual level, that lesson is over with. So if it was a karmic partner, if it was anything like that, once you reach the top, you don't have to go any further. And that's exactly what the Ten of Swords is. So even if it was painful, even if it was a difficult climb, it's still over with. And then we can move forward. So the Eight of Wands is about moving forward. So now that we have the power. So to summarize, whoever this is, your twin flame has somehow finished something, somehow has surrendered to another phase in their life. And now they have the power inside of themselves to move forward. Could be communication, but could also just be moving forward in life in general. Now they can spring forward to something that they want to be involved with. Where are they going? The Eight of Roses, the community. This to me is a beautiful card too, because Eight of Roses is like the community that you either are involved in on a spiritual level or just sort of like your home, because it looks, I mean, if you look at the image, they look very happy, they're smiling, they're laughing. It's a very warm environment. So it's not like a community that's like a Three of Cups, or, I mean, it could be like a celebration. It could be like a fun time, or somewhere that's just more light and lively. So after we get out of this muddy thing here, we can move forward to something that is inviting to us. So people that we connect with, people that we finally realize that are meant our time, or worth our time, I should say. Ace of Wands, yes. So Ace of Wands and the One of Forces is pretty much the same thing, because this is harnessing that power. So aces are the potential for something. It's like you're on the brink of potential, and then you can just let that thing unfold the way that you want it to. So lots of action here. Eight of Wands, Ace of Wands. This person has put the past behind them, and they're ready to move forward. So let's go ahead and use this deck here. Actually, let's get a couple from the Wolf deck first. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. So what is this change going to bring here? So what is this change about? Okay, so that was the other thing that I wanted to address. Sorry, these cards are new, so they're slipping all over the place. So what is this change going to bring? Because obviously they have ended something and they're moving forward. So what is this change going to bring? What's going to be illuminated and brought out here? What is this change going to bring? We have transformation. Look at this. We have transformation and we have the past. That's exactly it. So with the Ten of Swords, we're transforming the past. We're transforming the past and we're moving forward. So this person, what it is that they're doing is they're using this whole transformation to let the past go, to let it go, to let it just soar away. And they've ascended this thing. They've conquered a really big spiritual lesson here. Look, we have loss and we have friends. There's something here in this reading about friends. So with the community and the friends, I feel like for some masculines, this was a loss of their social circle. This was a loss of somebody, could even have been their karmic situation. With the Ten of Swords, this was just a community, or even though excuse me, my throat is dry today. Even though I see the community as a good thing, I also see it as potentially something that had hindered them in the past that they now have a better view about. So they have experienced loss. This is loss. So they have experienced loss. And that's the thing, is now that they have sort of experienced this loss, and remember we had guilt before, we had cards that are indicating that this person has gone through some form of a guilt, gone through some form of a shift in this energy that they've had. So, you know, that's what I feel. I feel like there's been a transformation of the past, quite simply here. And this is over with. Whatever this is over with. They've put it behind them. It may have been a loss that they had to just simply overcome. They had to ascend to a better place. And now with the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Wands, they're ready. They're getting ready to move forward in a better way that they have not in the past, because it was always hindering them. It was always keeping them at this place of loss, at this place of sadness. So let's get a couple of these. So what is this going to bring? What is emerging here from this change? What is emerging from this change for this person? I'm just going to take these off the top. These are stiff too. So what is emerging here for this person? What sort of a transformation are they undergoing here? Wishing. So we have them wishing for something. So wishing, and it's interesting because right now is a perfect time for manifestations too. So I feel like they are wishing upon a star, sort of wishing upon what they can have, sort of like a wish fulfillment too, because you're hoping for something. Are those two people? Yeah, it looks like there's two people sort of hugging together here. So this is them wishing for the connection. They're having hopes about the connection now that this is behind them. Could also be what the community is about too, about reaching out to the person that, again, that you are with, the person that you want to be with. We have lust. Okay, so lust, of course, is different than a commitment. Lust is different than love. But, you know, it doesn't have to be necessarily in a bad way. It can be in either way. It could just be simply that this passion has been ignited. We do have the Ace of Wands, which is about a renewed passion too, for a potential for, you know, moving forward in that passion. So it just seems like with the Ten of Swords and the past and the loss and the everything else here, these have been emotions and situations that have not let us feel our passion within ourselves. So it could just be that you have to renew that spark with somebody to be able to move forward. So even if it's at a lustful stage, even if it's not at a 100% of a commitment, it's still a rekindling of that passion within yourself to be able to set the tone for a commitment. Self-worth. So some of them could be still dealing with that, or this could be them realizing their self-worth. Now that they've gone through this, they've realized their self-worth. They've realized something about themselves that they maybe hadn't in the past. So what this change is bringing is a level of self-worth within themselves, a level of awareness of their emotions. We have the High Priestess of Water. So this is about emotions. Water is about emotions. So a very evolved person here who has dealt with loss. They've dealt with things from the past, and now they have learned these lessons. They've ascended here to be able to move forward. Could be that, and we'll go into the challenges in just a second so we can touch on that, but I do think that it could also be that lust is, again, the first stepping stone for them. It's the first stone where they can see their counterpart as somebody who is attractive and that they want a connection with, but are they ready for the actual commitment to just jump right into that? I don't know. That could be why we have the aces, which starts with yourself here. So I'm actually going to pull one clarifier for the lust card here. Oops. The Fool. The Fool is about a leap of faith. The Fool is about a risk. Okay, so didn't we? I think that we had that earlier. I'm not sure though. So the Fool and the Eight of Wands. This is what I feel. I feel this person is really wanting this quite badly right now. This is moving forward at a very quick pace. We've had the Eight of Wands twice. We have the Ace of Wands, the Lust, the Fool. This could be somebody who has just simply, again, now that they have surrendered, now that they have reached this point, they could just be moving forward in a very reckless way. But I don't feel it necessarily to be in a way that is going to ruin the relationship as it did in the past. I feel it to be more in a, how should I explain? Like they can't, like it's just the illumination that we saw before, the death. Now that they've gone through this transformation, it's a very quick moving energy where they may want it now, but it may be acting from a place where do they really know if they're ready or not? Okay, let's get one more confirmation here. So what is the Eight of Wands and the Fool about in regards to this connection? Justice. Justice is about balance. Justice is about the scales being balanced. I feel like For the most part, this person has achieved their justice. They have done something here to balance the scales out, either in their own life or with their twin flame. And now I really feel like the scales have been balanced on a karmic level. And that's why this person is so ready to take a leap of faith. I'm seeing that they are ready to take a leap of faith. We have the Four of Cups. Okay, so what I was saying earlier was, and we have the Page of Swords at the bottom, which can be about communication, can be about reaching out to somebody. So what I was saying earlier is Four of Cups can be about somebody who is still feeling a little bit blah, somebody who's not feeling entirely well, somebody who doesn't feel emotionally 100% involved. And that's where I feel it comes in with the Fool and the Lust and the Eight of Wands. It's quick moving forward, but it just simply may not be the right time for a full-on commitment. So although the renewed passion is there, is it really at the time when this person is ready to give you what it is that you desire on a commitment level? That's something that obviously is going to be different for every twin flame. If that's something that you're okay with, then, you know. But now it's sort of like a free energy. They've broken free from the chains of something else. And because of that, it's sort of like somebody who just feels like they've been tied down in rebellion and now they want to do something else. So let's go ahead and break this down more to make sure we can see what's going on here. All right, so let's go ahead and see what the challenges are. Okay, so what are the greatest challenges right now that they're facing? So what is it that's really holding them back from taking this risk or taking this leap of faith? What is the biggest challenge that they're experiencing? Okay, let's use these. This is the Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. So what is the greatest challenge that this person is currently going through? What's the greatest challenge that this person is going through here? Yep. Okay, so this is confirming everything I just said. So Four of Wands is about stability. This is about having the stability to have a relationship, have the stability to have a foundation, a family. That's what this is about. They're scared. So with the Eight of Swords, I feel like, yes, this person is ready to try to take some risk, try to just go forward to something that they desire, something that they want at a lustful place. But again, the stability part is what scares them. Their biggest challenge right now is dealing with their internal conflicts, dealing with feeling trapped. So Eight of Swords, you can get out of the Eight of Swords if you want. You can get out of these binds, chains if you want to. But some of them don't know if they're still ready for that or if they want to get out of those chains. So I really feel like it's at a positive level because there's so much progress. But at the same time, it's like you're inching closer to it, but then every time you get a little bit closer, you pull back. And I feel like that's where the challenge is for this person, is when it comes to actually 100% tied down commitment, maybe not because they're wanting to be a player or something like that, but I feel more so that they're just afraid of, are they going to be able to give to somebody? What's their greatest challenge? These are flying all over the place today. We have walking away. Walking away from a difficult situation. Even though you're starting over, be patient. So that's what I was saying here. So even though they're starting over, they have to be patient. So walking away could be a fear about somebody walking away. Their greatest challenge could be a fear, Eight of Swords, rational fear that somebody will leave them again, that somebody will walk away from them, or they feel like they're going to be the ones that ultimately have to walk away from you because they may not be ready. Prematurely, they could jump into a commitment and not be fully ready. So there's some challenge here about staying. There's some challenge here about staying in stability and not walking away entirely. New beginnings. Their biggest challenge is just going for a new beginning. Although these new beginnings are here, their greatest challenge is actually making it happen, implementing it into action, making it actually be something that is going to work for the long haul. What's this person's greatest challenge here? Summon. This is about sort of like a manifestation card, but it's also about obviously summoning the things that you want. So it's interesting because we have the walking away and that card. So it's almost like there could be a fear about, will they be able to, again, have this work out? Will they be able to make it happen? So summon is like you call someone in, but will you be able to keep them, or will they want to keep you? Fulfillment. So what they're afraid of is the fulfillments. This is very interesting to me because with the joy and stability, the Four of Wands, the fulfillment, this is actually everything that they desire. They want a new beginning. They want this. They want to be able to move forward with this. But I still feel like with the Eight of Swords and the other cards, there is this irrational fear that is continuing to bog them down and have them not see things clearly. The High Priestess of Earth. You know, the High Priestess of Earth is actually about the physical things we have in life. This is about things that we can see, things that that are tangible to us, things that are like structured and things that are real. And that could again be something that when it comes down to the real thing, that's their greatest challenge, is making that happen, making that something that is a reality. Person's greatest challenge. Strength. Fulfillment of wishes, and we have fulfillment here. We have the Nine of Wands and the Power. Okay, so I'm getting the same feeling here that somebody is still afraid of their fulfillments. They're afraid of taking a leap. They're afraid of being caught in the same thing that happened before. The Nine of Wands is when you're almost exhausted about something. The Strength card is about taming the lion within yourself. So I just feel like when it comes down to the things that they truly desire, do they have the strength? Do they have, actually both of these are about strength. The Nine of Wands is about pursuing something, not giving up on something, not walking away before it's over with. 9, 9, we have so many cards that are on the brink of being a 10, but it's that last piece that maybe is still missing. All right, so let's just go ahead and go into what actions this person may be taking towards you. What sort of changes will they actually be manifesting into the 3D? And then we'll just close up the reading there, okay? So let's go ahead and see. So what actions is this person going to be doing or taking towards you? So what are the actions that this person will be taking towards you? What sort of steps will this person be taking towards you? Let's just say the next couple weeks or so. What will this change bring? We have the Eight of Wands. We've had this like 3 times. I feel for a lot of this, for a lot of you, communication can happen. Something quick can happen. I think this person's going to be thinking about it. King of Swords. Someone's going to be in their head about should they or should they not communicate. So I think that's really where it lies, is that it's going to be swift movement. But again, will it be something that will last for a long term? As of right now, that's the only thing that we still don't really know at the moment. So let's go ahead and just get a couple more. So what sort of actions is this person going to be taking towards you? What sort of actions is this person going to be taking towards you here? We do have the Page of Cups. So we have the Page of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and we have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands, Page of Cups. Yep. So I definitely feel like there's going to be some new starts here. Somebody's going to be fighting for what it is that they want. We have the Seven of Wands. This came up earlier on the bottom. So I feel like this is what it comes down to, is battling these things that we have surrounding us. But I think there's definitely going to be movement forward with this person in terms of communication, and potentially even an offer, an apology, or something like that. With the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands, we're talking about somebody who has more of a childlike innocence, somebody who wants to just have a new start, somebody who wants to potentially get out of this whole King of Swords mentality that is very harsh, can be very harsh. What sort of actions? Can you clarify, what is the Page of Cups about? Page of Wands. The Messenger. So there's your confirmation. So the Eight of Wands and the Messenger, you are about to receive good news. Okay, so this is about a message. So pretty clearly, I feel like for a lot of us, communication is coming. We have judgment at the bottom. So I read these intuitively. I read this as judgment. I read this as somebody coming to terms with everything that's been going on, coming to terms with who they are, and necessarily taking the right measures to reconcile this. All right. So let's just get some final advice for you. So whoever this is watching it, what is the advice from Spirit for you? What's the advice from Spirit? The world. The world is about cycles closing. It's also about letting it go to the universe, because it is universe in this deck here. So I'm seeing this as somebody who needs to let things go to the universe and also just continue to, we have the naked heart. I love it. The naked heart is about being with no ego. The naked heart is being naked within your soul, not having any type of, trying not to have any ego, trying not to have anything attached, no expectations, just kind of letting things unfold the way that they're supposed to unfold. Okay, let's get a final one from the Wolf deck. What's the final advice here? Messages from Spirit for whoever this is watching. Wisdom. Doorways in your mind open, having you discover talents you never realized you possess. Yeah, so this is about having the wisdom to be at the place you are now. You've learned so much from this path. You've learned so much from this journey. Now you can have a naked heart. Now you can have a heart that is open, a heart that is pure. Because this person is trying to offer a Page of Cups. This person is wanting to come through with some form of a communication. So if they do come through, even if they've hurt you in the past, it's not about being stepped on, but it's about being at the universe. You've been through a lot. You've discovered yourself. You've been through cycles. You've been exploring. You've been on this journey, and now you should have some form of an exposed heart where you can come through from a non-egotistical way, or at least a loving way. All right, let's get one final one. Because of the wisdom that you have, we have family. So family could be about your family, your literal family, your blood family. Could also be about who it is that you connect with, because this is wolves too. So who is it that you really, at the core of your soul, who are you vibrationally aligning with? Okay, so it could be about listening to that. Okay, so we're flying everywhere here. We have support. Yep, so family and support. So it could be that you are receiving support from family or just like-minded people who are going through the same experiences as you, and that's what this is about, all right? So I hope that helped you guys. I hope that gave you at least some clarity. I will definitely be back for more in-depth readings, but I did just want to hop on here real quick and do something just to see what this is, what kind of change this is bringing. So I think it's really a positive change, whether this takes a little bit of time or whether this happens quickly. I think that we're definitely moving in a good direction. All right, so thank you so much, and I'm sending you all the blessings and love and support. I hope you have a great rest of September, and I will talk to you later. Okay, much love.